Are you new to Dota and want to dominate in mid but just don't know what to pick? Well, in this video I'll be showing you my top 5 best mid heroes for you beginners. Mid is often the most influential role, and if you're new, you'll want to pick one of these ones to start with, as they're easier to learn and give you a higher chance to have more of an impact in the game. I used to exclusively play the mid role a while back and used to play mid for a team, so hopefully after watching this, you'll have a good idea of some of the easier heroes that you can learn and start dominating in the mid lane. Number 1 on the list here is the Greek god of thunder,
Zeus.
Zeus is an amazing mid lane hero who has a focus on dishing out heavy damage with his lightning based abilities. Zeus suits a ganker style as he easily overwhelms other lanes when he has a level advantage due to his high burst damage. His attack range is low and his attack animation is pretty bad, so try to use your first spell, Chain Lightning, to get last hits. This spell essentially deals low to medium damage but bounces from enemy to enemy and is very useful for last hitting as well as getting some light harass on your enemies from a distance. Chain Lightning also synergizes quite well with Static Field, Zeus's third ability, which chunks enemy heroes which are hit by your spells based on how much health they currently have. This is super useful to quickly zap down enemy heroes from full health for a low mana cost. His second ability, Lightning Bolt, is where the real damage starts to show up. Lightning Bolt strikes a single target for high damage and also mini stuns them for a moment, which can be really useful for interrupting channeling spells. Now, this ability is already super strong, but it also grants you a small radius of true sight, which means you can see invisible heroes or even enemy wards for a few seconds after casting. The true god of thunder reveals himself when he casts his ultimate, Thunder God's Wrath. This spell calls down a bolt of lightning to all living enemy heroes, and deals heavy damage as well as again granting true sight. This is a global spell, meaning that no matter where you or your enemies are, it will hit them, unless they are invisible.
Not so fast.
As soon as you get your ultimate, be sure to let your teammates know, and also have a scan around the map to see if any of the enemies are low enough to catch them out. Zeus is a great pick against most other mid heroes, but you do need to be careful against heroes who can lock you down, as he has no natural escapability. Number 2 on the list is Viper.
Holy shit, it's me!
Viper has been picked up a lot more recently since his abilities were reworked and he has become much more deadly in games. Viper is a tanky hero that can dish out a heavy amount of damage through a combination of physical and magical attacks. His poison abilities focus on causing damage over time, while also weakening their movement and attack speeds as the poison penetrates deeper. Viper's first ability, Poison Attack, is a modifier which is applied to your normal attacks, which reduces the enemy's movement and attack speed, but also deals more damage the lower the enemy's health is, which is great to finish off wounded heroes.
Attack!
Nether Toxin, Viper's second ability, is an AoE spell which deals damage, lowers the magic resistance, and also breaks any enemies standing in the area. This is an amazing ability against heroes who rely on passives to make them tankier, as breaking the enemy stops their passives from working, allowing you to deal heavy damage to them while their passives are down. This ability can also be used for zoning enemies, and is great to use in lane to force your enemy mid to either stand back while you get the last hits, or to come forward into your attack range. Corrosive Skin is a passive defensive spell, which increases your magic resistance as well as causing minor damage over time to enemies who attack you. Viper's ultimate, Viper Strike, is a low cooldown single target ability which cripples the enemy, heavily slowing their movement speed and attack speed, as well as dealing significant damage over time.
Poison soaks you!
This can even go through Magic Immunity, which is great to use against a Magic Immune carry to cripple them and waste their time in immunity. Cool, so number 3 on my list is the Dragon Knight.
The dragon comes for war.
Probably out of all the other mid heroes, this guy or maybe Lina are my very favourite mid heroes. Dragon Knight is a very versatile strength based hero who is great for mid, and especially good when up against mid heroes who rely on their physical damage output, such as Monkey King or Clinks. He can often dominate the lane, as it is quite easy to get last hits and denies, and you can push the tower down quickly if left alone with your ultimate.
Of course.
Dragon Knight's first ability, Breathe Fire, shoots out a wave of fire, dealing damage but also crucially reducing attack damage of enemies that are hit. Make sure to use this ability to get last hits, but also hit the enemy at the same time, as this lowers their damage and makes it harder for them to get last hits. Dragon Tail, his second ability, deals minor damage and stuns the enemy in melee range, however during his ultimate form becomes a ranged stun. One of the best things about Dragon Knight however is his tankiness and ability to stay in lane for a long time, and this is mostly due to his third ability, Dragon Blood. His Dragon Blood gives him increased health regeneration, as well as high armor, which is why he can tank physical damage in lane very easily.
My armor grows stronger.
Finally, Dragon Knight's ultimate turns him from a melee knight into a magnificent ranged dragon, increasing his attack range and also changing his attack type at the different levels of ultimate.
The dragon comes for war.
The first level gives you corrosive breath, dealing damage over time to enemies and towers. Level 2 gives you splash damage to all nearby enemies, and finally level 3 gives frost breath, slowing movement and attack speed of all affected enemies. This ability is really powerful for pushing towers, so make sure to make the most of it when you can. Alright, down on number 4 we have the race car hero, Pugna, who is always moving so bloody fast it's hard to actually work out that he is not in fact the Flash.
Who dare cross my path?
Pugna is a ranged intelligence hero who relies on his high burst damage and pushing capabilities to win lanes and games. Nether Blast is an area of effect spell which explodes and deals high damage to targets in the area, including towers and other buildings.
Blast you.
This is an amazingly strong ability for pushing towers, so make sure to abuse this to take your enemy's towers before they know what is happening. Pugna's second ability, Decrepify, banishes your target, enemy or ally into the ethereal, rendering them unable to attack or be attacked, but increasing the damage taken versus magic. This is really useful if you're getting attacked by an enemy physical carry, as it stops you from being a target, but it also can be used to nuke someone down really quickly as it increases damage taken from your first skill and your ultimate. Your third ability, the Nether Ward, is a team fight spell that damages enemies who dare to cast spells in the range of it. This can be absolutely brutal against enemy heroes with high cost, high damage abilities, such as Lena's ultimate, and they can often kill themselves if they're not careful.
You did that to yourself.
Finally, your ultimate is your lifeline and saving grace against many heroes. Life Drain sucks health directly from your enemy and replenishes your own for up to 10 seconds. The cooldown on this ability can also be removed with an Agnum Scepter, meaning you can essentially suck life from your enemies for as long as you like.
Your life is mine.
This is a channeled spell, so just remember that your enemies will be looking to stun you as soon as possible once you start using it. This probably won't matter too much though, because most of the time they're going to be running for the hills if they are low on health.
Sniper here.
And finally we have Sniper, probably the first hero I ever played when I first started playing Dota. Sniper is a ranged agility carry who can really excel in the mid lane through the quick levels and high levels of farm that he can get against the enemy. He is heavily reliant on physical damage at long range, and his abilities are geared around improving these, as well as slowing and stopping enemies from range. Sniper's first ability, Shrapnel, is an area denial ability which deals damage over time to enemies standing in the range. It is also a great ability for chasing down enemies as it slows them slightly, but also gives you full vision of the covered area, making it really easy if you're trying to chase them through trees. Headshot, his second ability, gives you a passive chance to perform a headshot, which slightly knocks back the enemy and deals extra damage.
Boom! Headshot!
This is great for early game harass, but also late game when you have high attack speed, as it just stops enemies from getting too close to you without them taking insane damage first. Take Aim, your third ability, increases your attack range and is great for taking down towers without them actually hitting you. This ability can also be activated, which doubles the bonus distance given for a single shot, which can be good to get the last hit on a distant creep or just annoying enemies from high range. And finally, your kill still ultimate ability, Assassinate, lines up a target for a couple of seconds before firing a high caliber, high damage projectile straight at their face.
Kill shot!
This ability also has crazy range, so you can fire it from like halfway across the map, okay, maybe not that far, but a long way away, to get the last hit on an enemy or just to deal some damage to them, warning them not to get too close. Just be careful with your positioning when playing Sniper, as he has no real escape abilities and is very weak if enemies can jump on top of him. Alright, it was super hard to actually choose these 5 mid heroes, as there are so many good mid heroes who are fairly easy, but I think with these 5, you'll have a good variety for many different situations. Thanks for watching everyone, and please make sure to hit the like button and share with your friends if you think it might help them as well. My channel is here to help you get more skill, more wins, and have more fun, so if you want any of those things, make sure you subscribe. I have new videos out every Friday, and I'd love for you to watch them and learn something from them, as well as be part of the community. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this Top 5 Heroes series, and if you've got any ideas for videos that you'd like me to do. I've got a couple more of these top 5 videos to go to cover offlane and position 4 roamer support heroes, so if there's something that you want to see after that, let me know, as I'd love to start making something that can help you. Thanks again for watching, I'm Blake Unlively, and God bless.